What's happening, my good people? This is Creative Chaos. I am DJ Bush, baby! And of course, I'm gladly joined by my brother, Josh, the Fixer. Now, we are very delighted to be joined by, first of all, this guy drives a car that is every lawyer's dream. Think of any lawyer and their dream car. This guy is an achiever. He's still achieving. Okay? He's a prayer warrior. Can you imagine? He's a prayer warrior. Okay? The man is eloquent, speaks the king's language perhaps better than, the king.
Himself.
We can go on and 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 on. He's a brother and a friend of the industry, a mentor. Dr. Mich, you're welcome to Creative Chaos. I forgot to say, he's a vet. What do vets do for those who might not be in the loop?
Josh.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to start first by bashing Bush. When the guy was introducing the show.
Right ahead.
No. When the guy was introducing the show, the guy had to turn around and read Creative Chaos. You don't know the name of your own show. This guy.
No, it's still heavy on the tongue, so
yeah, right.
It'll take time, to
No, but it's
effortlessly roll off the
pleasure to
tongue.
be here, guys.
Yes.
Thanks for the initiative. Thanks
Yes.
for it's great to have opportunities to just sit down and let it all out. So what's on the agenda today? What do you guys want to talk about?
Josh, take it away.
Guys, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Creative Chaos is basically us talking about the chaotic lives of creative geniuses.
Hey, so hold a second.
Yeah.
So by virtue of the fact me sitting in this chair here,
You qualify.
I qualify
Yeah, you
first of all to
qualify.
be a genius and
Automatically.
and
creative?
and I'm a creative.
Yes.
And you're genius.
Guys.
Yeah, exactly.
I endorse this message.
Yes.
Thank you. So today what you have is something very personal to me.
Yeah.
I don't know,
All of us.
all of us.
By the time we sat and we brainstormed about, the conversation.
It's about the Lone Ranger. Yeah. Creatively, people do things alone. They feel they can make it alone. Are you a Lone Ranger? Is this something you've done? Is it even feasible?
I find it interesting because when Bush sent me the questions, he has a certain objective for the recording, and I'm supposed to say, no, it's not a good idea for you to be a Lone Ranger. It's not good to be solo independent. But to tell you the truth, I wear multiple hats. Now, as he introduced me as a vet, but he forgot to mention that I'm also a public speaker who has done close to 4,000 events and counting. From this event here, from this recording, I have 2 events happening today. And then at the same time, I run an events and marketing firm in 3 different countries. And we, on a monthly basis, at least we do 2, 3, maybe 4 events. Now, the question is, in which instances is it okay to be a Lone Ranger?
As a creative.
As a creative. Yes. Because you see, in both of my, actually, on all the hats I wear, there are elements of creativity.
True.
You see, whether you're public speaking, whether you're doing events, you are starting with a concept, you bring it to life, you deliver it, you walk away to the next one. Now, I'll tell you what. For events, it's impossible. It's impossible to be a Lone Ranger. And in fact, it's suicidal if you even think of doing stuff alone, because you will fall totally flat. And I think let me start first by understanding your different positions, so I know who to bash and who to bonga with. So what's your perspective on it, and then I'll know which train of thought to follow.
So mine comes from after school, college, you graduate and then you get a job.
Yeah.
The typical, traditional way our old folks wanted us to be. And then over the years, you realize you're a rebel. You don't fit in. Okay, you work for this multinational outfit, but you feel the policies, the systems, the processes don't really go down so well with your ideology, chain of thoughts, and way of doing things. And you're like, you know what? I'm going out and I'm going to do this on my own. And then you become a solopreneur.
Yeah.
And then you realize you have to
That's the
you have to hire guys, you have to pay salaries. You're used to your salary coming in on time. On the other side, now here it's you to make sure people's dimes, come in on time. There is taxes, there is all these Excel sheets, there's legal things to do, there's PR, it's a whole web of chaos going on.
So from your example,
Yes.
are you happy being a solopreneur?
Right now, yes.
What about you, Josh?
15 years of motion graphics. Started at the time, nobody, I think, in Uganda knew what it was. That includes channel branding, TV channels, and all that stuff. I went solo because nobody understood what it took to actually brand a channel. So when you do it over and over, you have to, you seem to always have your ducks in a row. Like you know what to do, when to do it, how to do it. And when you moonlight, well, things work out nicely. But it takes a turn when you have now to make it a business, a profitable business.
I think I see both sides, and my story actually fits into both. Number one, when I was starting out, I actually wanted to set up a business, and Eclipse Marketing is something which I set up in 1999, almost 25 years ago, quarter of a century. And I set it up at the university, solo. I used to do small events at the university. And when I wanted to actually now scale up, that's when I realized the challenges that Bush was mentioning. One, I didn't understand aspects of marketing. I didn't understand aspects of finance. And I had a mentor who told me something which I believe is a winner for everybody. Know what you know and know it well. Know what you don't know. And finally, know someone who knows what you don't know.
Sure.
So those are the three principles on which I realized that collaboration is critical if I actually want to survive and thrive in my business setting. So one of my mentors is a guy called Brian Mukisa. Brian now lives in Canada and works for, I think, Microsoft. And one of the things he said, dude, you're awesome. You've got the attitude. You know to gravitate. People gravitate around you. Your public speaking is on point. You can communicate. But dude, you don't understand marketing. And you want to get into that field. You want to be able to do events. You can host events. But do you understand the concepts behind it? Do you understand what it is to deliver solutions? And actually, I was clueless. So the guy sent me back to school, went to the Chartered Institute of Marketing. No, why are you laughing? Don't say that. No. You have to admit, Josh.
I'm imagining you emceeing an event.
Yeah.
And then you go to class.
But
5 minutes.
Dude, I had to go back from scratch.
Yes.
And relearn, because I noticed that I had gaps. Now, but when I came back and I'd finished my Chartered Institute of Marketing, dude, my business in the words of the Minister of Finance, my business went.
Yes.
Because now I understood, one, that I needed to collaborate with people who knew more than I knew. Yeah. So I got a team of guys around, we worked together, and that's what happened. So I'll tell you the truth, when I started it solo, I had so many botched up events. Something as tiny as a wedding, has so many moving parts, getting the PA system there at the right time, getting the bagole there. My first wedding was a total flop. It was at Baha'i Temple, 2008, in the month of March. It was a mess.
Boomerang.
It was a total flop. I mean, in fact, people say it was a hot pile of poop. That was the best example you could give. Huh? Steaming hot pile. So I thought to myself, now, what is it that I'm doing wrong? Yeah. Until I got now my Josh around, I got my Bush, we got together, and then guys started showing me, look, for sound you need this, for lighting you need this, for experiential you need this. In that first year, I'll tell you, Bush, I got my longest standing customer. We got Zane as a customer, and until today, 2024, since 2008 till today, Zain, which changed to Airtel, is still our customer.
Nice.
Why? Because I identified what my challenge was, what the gap was. And I think that's important.
Yes. Yeah.
So young people, the truth is, and I'll tell it straight, you might think that you understand and you know your shizzle. I know my shizzle, and I'm tight for shizzle. I don't need Josh, I don't need Bush to tell me stuff, but trust me, you don't know squat.
Yeah.
And it's only when you go and you talk to people who know more than you that you are demystified.
Yeah.
Dude, I went for 2 interviews, one at Airtel when I was working on radio for a PR and communications job. And I was studying vet medicine at the time at the university. So I thought I could go there and BS my way through the interview. Yes. Yeah. I went there and they started asking me about, so what are the key drivers of communication and usage of products? And I said,
Sign language.
Yeah. But trust me, by the end, sure, they told you multiply yourself by 0, young man. Huh? So I bust. Another time that I still also, that people sussed out my stupidity was, I was in South Africa.
Yes.
I had just done a TV show, so I was feeling on top of the world. I did a TV show called Deal or No Deal.
Oh, yeah.
I was feeling dope. I used to go on stage.
It was nice.
24 hot babes, and me, I was there saying, ladies, please. So one of my aunties sends me an invitation letter and says, oh, there's the South African Leadership Academy. And it's a big institution which trains young people and identifies talent. They were looking for a marketing director. So I'd been working at the Daily Monitor and KFM as their promotions manager. I'd never studied marketing. But I thought, because I had hustled my way through, I thought I knew these things. So I went there, sat through the interview again, thought I could also BS my way through, bought myself a blue shirt, went and sat down. They started asking me questions. So what do you think you're going to be able to do to be able to increase the penetration of this brand? I said, Still again, told me, bust. So when you have...
Lone Ranger.
The Lone Ranger, when you think you know. So when the Lone Ranger got shot and he was bleeding, that's when he realized that, man, you can't be a lone ranger when you're starting out. It doesn't work, man.
Actually, one of the other things I didn't mention is why I became a lone ranger is that sometimes my entire career I've worked for family businesses.
Correct.
So a time comes where you supersonically grow through the ranks. One day you're a producer, then you're a programmer, then you're a PD, then you're a GM, then
you're the MD, managing director.
Then the CEO is the daughter or the son to the owner of the business.
Yes.
Now you can't kick the fella out of.
Correct.
So at the end of the day, you just have to find your exit. But I want you to highlight more on the importance of networking, because I think it's
I think
it's a huge.
Sorry to cut you short. Before you go there, is there anything good about being a lone ranger?
Yes. Independence.
Take us through.
Independence and the ability to be able to make decisions without having to consult. But you see, there is also the flip side. While you make that decision, you're going to face the brunt of that responsibility alone if you muck up. So, yes, it's good. It feels good. You don't have to make it. Because I'll tell you what happened. I didn't finish the story. When I started off Eclipse in 2008 and I had my partners, in less than 2.5 to 3 years, I had grown and learned so much that I was capable of buying out all of my partners. And I did.
Oh, really?
I did. I bought out all my partners in the second year, paid everybody 100% return on investment on all the money they put in. And quickly now became the CEO, managing director, group CEO for Africa. So I was capable.
There's no office in New York.
They can't wait. But true to what Josh is saying is that I had the capacity to make decisions. Now, because I was a lone ranger who now had 2 guns, because I knew what I was doing.
Yep.
But don't do that until you are fully capable and you've been tested and tried. You see? Because now I'm a lone ranger when it comes to hosting events. It's very difficult to find somebody who is at the same energy level. There are people who are good. I know some good talent in Uganda.
Underline energy.
Energy.
Yeah.
But because it's energy.
Lone Rangers have a different set of energy.
Oh, yes, we do.
Yes.
You're just in this space where
Uncontrollable. You just.
people don't understand you.
Yeah.
People don't understand why you're a 5 a.m. person and 10 p.m. going to bed or midnight. They don't understand your motivation. So you're like, you know what? You find me ahead.
That's
but
true.
not Sangayo.
That's true.
Kind of.
But true to what Bush says,
Yeah.
there are critical points in your journey where now you'll start seeing the benefits of networking.
Yeah.
Because networking will change your life. I'll give you 2 or 3 interesting examples, because tomorrow in the morning I'm hosting a talk. I'm calling it my Gambonogu Masterclass. It's about being able to pick up the phone and call that one person because I know them.
Yes.
But it's also based on the principle of, when I know this person, I can leverage on my relationship.
True.
And they can leverage on mine. And it doesn't necessarily have to pay off immediately.
It's called Gamba what?
Gambanogu.
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 This one. This guy Uganda.
Where do you live?
Where do you stay?
Gambanogu.
You know what it is, man.
Look at this woman. Now, you see, the thing is, so let's start with, I think the most recent.
I like the name first of all. That's a proper. That's a local content at its best.
No, but that's what it is.
Gambanogu
Gambanogu,
Masterclass.
that's networking at its essence here from Uganda.
Yeah.
Because now, look at this. I did, many years ago, I started working in the MC space, and it was okay. I was in Uganda, and truthfully, I think I'm not going to say that it's because of me that the public speaking and the MC sector grew, but I'll tell you the truth that before me, there wasn't anyone. So, gotta tell you, man, I'm the man. Say it with the master plan. Dr. Mich, don't snitch or you fall in a ditch and they'll call you what? No, but the truth is, 2001, started doing events, and I used to do a lot of work for corporates. And there was a guy called Beka Magunda. Now, Beka Magunda was the MD of Uganda Breweries. He left, went and became the MD of Kenya Breweries Limited. And he started doing, he did his stuff and what. And fast forward to around the year 2009, 2010, picks up the phone and calls me and says, Mitch, I want you to come to Kenya. And he could do that because him and I had done gigs before.
Yeah, true.
All right? And he knew me.
It's a network. There was a connection.
It was a connection.
Yeah.
And I had been doing work for him. So the key thing first that I need to tell everybody when you are creating your networks is that within your network, make sure there's value.
Yep.
Don't just say, oh, I know Bush, Nice to meet you.
I have his number.
I have his number. But you have not, one, given or gotten value from him. Because if he knows that you can contribute to his lifestyle, to his process, to his dynamic, his production dynamic in one way or another, he will see value in you, and vice versa. So this is what happened with Beka. I used to do all of his events, and every time I would do it, I would put my heart in. The principle by which we would work was that you're only as good as your last event. You're only as good as your last engagement. So put it all out there.
All creative work.
It
All
applies to
creative work.
everything.
That's it.
Yes.
Because I might be seeing Josh for the first time today. So put your heart into it so that I'm impressed. Don't do it half-baked. So these guys knew that every time Mitch used to put his hat down and grab a microphone, man, the guy used to throw down.
The results were amazing.
Results were amazing.
Yes.
So the guy flew to Kenya, and he's now the MD there, and then he's asked to revive the show. What does he do? He calls up, says, Mitch, I need you to come here. But again, because of the network, he was very honest. He says, Gwe, sina sente, don't have money.
But
This season here is on the back of a total rebrand. We have spent too much cash, but I know you can do something because they had another Ugandan, because I don't want to poop on my fellow creative.
No.
I'm not going to say it. I'm not like that. I'm not like that. Huh?
It's chaos.
No, it's chaos, but I respect my brothers.
But also giving props.
Yeah, giving props.
Because
Let's just say there was somebody before me from
digress,
Uganda who hosted, but they said, guess what? We need somebody with a little bit more energy. I said, Kawa, let me do it.
So it was a ratings issue.
It was a ratings issue.
Yes.
And then they said, you can come on, but you know what? Because my rate, everybody knows the rate. To tap me for 1 hour is $1,000. That's what I charge. Simple. But They said, you know what, we don't have cash. We only have like $250, $300. And this is for the entire show. Not just per hour, this is the entire show.
Wow.
And I said, guy, I said, it's okay. But if you can prove yourself this season here, man, we can discuss afterwards.
Yeah.
But it's because of the network that we have and the rapport. Because now you see, once you have added value, you now create a certain rapport with them. And you see, you can develop what degree of rapport do you have in your network? Are you just a high buddy? Am I someone who can call in favors now? Because now I had done so much work for him that he was capable of calling in a favor. And you need to be able to leverage. Invest in your collaborations and in your networks so that it's not just a hi buddy,
Banter.
Yes, banter. No. It's somebody that I can extract value from and I can add value.
You're both bankable.
We're both bankable. Important.
All right, so just for details,
Yes.
we'll have details on this show.
Yes.
Yeah. So you go from here to Kenya.
At $300 per show.
Okay, the detail we are looking for, or I'm looking for is was it bus corridor or those
Ha!
flights?
No. Now that one, when I was negotiating, I negotiated for business class tickets and 5-star hotel, $200 spending money per day.
Guys, value in network.
Value in networks.
yes.
But guess what? I was only getting paid $300 per show. But you know, for a guy who earns $1,000 for an hour or so, remember value. I felt I was losing, but I also saw the future.
There was a
potential.
win-win.
At that point there was no win.
Introspectively.
At that point, there was potential. I was looking at
Oh,
the big
yes,
picture
yes.
to be able to see how will it benefit me in the future. Because it also made me have to prove myself. So to make a long story short, first season, the ratings went through the roof. I renegotiated my contract. Not only did they keep me for that season, they kept me for 4 seasons afterwards. By the first season, I earned approximately, I think it was like $6,000, $7,000. By the time I finished, I was being paid approximately $52,000, $53,000.
Are you at liberty? Are you at liberty to at least mention the property?
It's something called Tusker Project.
TPF, yeah. I mean,
Tusker
there are
Project.
kids who don't know TPF.
No, dude. That happened
no
while...
offense,
How old were you when you watched that show?
I wanted your job. I wanted your job.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Yes, I wanted your job.
I'm very sorry, Bush, but you're not tall, dark, and handsome. So I'm
At that time, I was in Magufuli land, the other side. So,
but you were doing your thing, man. You were doing your thing in that.
But I badly wanted your job as well.
you're doing
man.
your thing
I had
in that.
enough, but I felt like, man, it should be me there, man.
No, quite a number of people tried to dethrone me, but dude, when God puts you somewhere, it's difficult to extract a chap.
So I think at this time when you're doing this TPF, I really want to know. You are still doing it as a lone ranger.
Nope.
You have a production assistant. You have someone.
You have an entire crew around you, but it's important for you to understand also that, you know, because I had a co-host. I had 2 co-hosts during the 4 years. One called Sheila Mwanyega and another beautiful young lady called Joy Muthenge.
Yes.
So Joy did 1 season and Sheila did 3 seasons, and you know, we played off of each other's energy. But it's important that you define your own personality, so that people see you as an individual. And when I went there on stage, yes, I was contributing collectively, but you had your own identity, which you had to build. I had my own humor.
Personality.
I had my own personality, and you know, I think it's important that you understand, as a creative, when you put more things together, you see the flavor changes.
Yeah.
You see? So that's the essence of collaboration. I think it's very important. You need to, and I think let me talk to the fact that building the relationships over time enables you to do different things. So using the show as an example, I was the host, there was a co-host, but then we had judges and the rest. But the relationship with each and every single one of them enabled me to play off different things. There was a judge called Ian. So me used to have, firefights between the two of us. Then Juliana Kanyomozi was also on the show, and between me and her, she was my love interest. Every time I would see her, I'd say, "What's up, babe? Want to go out for dinner?" That kind of stuff. Huh? So it allowed me to develop a story. And it's important as creatives that everything we're doing is that we are trying to communicate. Whether you're telling a story or what. So this enabled me. If you're sitting by yourself in your room doing your podcast alone, it's quite difficult to be able to generate all these different angles.
TikTok stars.
What?
We have TikTok stars.
Oh, yes, no, TikTok stars. Those guys you TikTok stars are special. You
but
guys
I
are
have to give
special.
props. I think you're among the few guys I know who can single-handedly steer a show.
Yeah.
But also at the same time have the be gracious enough to have a co-host or a number of co-hosts and still murder the whole thing.
Do you know one of the things about communication for creatives is you've got good and bad, but how you can actually wash both of those sides away is by doing a prep. I did an event with somebody who actually was scared. Are we allowed to use the word SHIT on this show?
It's okay.
All right.
It's a
scared shitless.
Yes.
Yes.
18
They
plus.
were scared shitless about being on stage, but they wanted to be because their client wanted them to be on the show. So what we did is that we went and we actually did a script and then practiced even the jokes, even the intros. So it made it look very natural. And this was not just even with the co-host, but even with the people I was introducing. You imagine you go and you sit down the MD of an organization and you say, because these guys are my friends, I'm not going to mention the organization, but just know they were launching something recently. So I go and I sit down and I tell MD, you know what you're going to say? Say this. When you say this, I'm going to laugh. So one of the questions I was asking is, so what's your favorite thing like this? And they said, oh, no, me, I like this because my husband comes from this side here. Then I walked away and I said, man, people now are focusing on love. What about us guys who are single? So the audience went they were in stitches.
Yeah. Yes.
They couldn't believe that the MD could be funny. Little did they know that we had prepped. So in terms of communication, you as a creative, I know you want to be a lone ranger. I know you want to take the shine. But when the entire team is doing well, you're all doing well. Yeah. So sometimes take a few minutes, lend guys your gun. Say, okay, fine, I used to shooting this alone, but here, Josh, water. Shoot. Yeah. And you know what? It makes Josh look good, and then Josh ultimately also makes you look good.
You all win.
You all win.
There is something I've always wanted to ask you. Among the many hats that you wear, you gave us one of the best, the East African ad.
Yes.
The TVC.
Yes.
Guys still talk about it, to date. I saw an amazing actor.
Who's that? And me?
You, in that, yes. As a talent manager, talent scout, I saw an amazing actor. I was like, how come you never pursued acting? By the way.
That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
But I'll throw it back to you. I was in a car with a guy a guy called Eddie Okila.
Yeah.
And we were just having a chat one day, and Eddie asked me, dude, and that was the time I used to work on radio because I worked on 3 radio stations. I worked on Power FM, then I went to Sanyo FM, then I finished off at KFM. By the time I'd never touched TV. Actually, I'd done a small quiz show in SQ97, but I'd never done a big show, and I kept asking myself, why don't I do TV? And I'd look in the mirror, and back then I was skinny, dude. I looked like I didn't have money. Yeah, I just looked like, but it's just growing up genetically.
The keyword again, underline. He didn't have money.
No, I said I looked like it. I didn't say I did it.
He looked like he did.
Let us move forward.
Fake it till we make it.
So
we're still faking it.
Yes.
Somehow I didn't think that I was TV material. And I told Eddie, and I said, dude, I've got a voice for radio, not for TV. Those were my words. Fast forward, the next year, I was called up by CNN to do the CNN Africa Journalist of the Year Awards with Aisha Sise. I was like, okay, never ever trump or pull down, because you don't know what God has in store for you.
Yeah.
The year after that, that's when I was called in to do Tusker Project Fame. And then I also got a gig now to do something with what? With 2 or 3 other organizations. I was like, never ever doubt yourself.
Sure.
But that is live television, engagement television.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a vet doctor, and I spent 5-6 years at the university studying like a madman. And you know, when you're an actor, you have to cram lines, and then you have to be in character. And I don't like not being honest. You will find make believe is not me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Josh, if you meet me on the streets, even if you don't meet me, I mean, if you don't know me, and you say, "Hey, yo, what's up, Mitch? What's up? I've seen you before," I'll return that energy.
Yeah, true.
And then you say, "Mitch, I saw you on this show. Yeah, what's that? And we'll start jazzing."
Yeah, I've seen
But,
so
no,
many
but,
people.
but so is radio. I mean, radio.
So is
Theater.
radio, yeah.
No, but it's theater of the mind, but I'm myself.
Yeah.
I am never going to try to make believe. I will be myself.
Here you are, people thinking you're Superman, kumbe.
Hey. Clark Kent is my cousin.
So, managing these relationships. Imagine there's a young kid out there. He probably has. You probably tell them, "Look, I have the number to the deputy speaker.
Yeah.
If I took you there and gave you access to the guy's office, how would you handle that conversation?" Or I have the number or the WhatsApp number to the CEO or MTN or whoever. You know, how would you, young guys, now communication, managing relationships. But
Okay.
but
I'll tell you what.
yes,
Managing relationships is not a complex thing. You don't even have to go to school. I think somebody gave the best analogy with when you have these chaps on chat groups and they don't chat with you at all, and then 1-2 months before they're getting married, "Hi, I'm getting married. Please attend my wedding meeting."
Yeah.
How does that make sense to you? And switch it and say it's a relationship that you value and you want to manage. Are you going to wait until you need that individual to engage? No. So the first thing you need to do is that you have to be intentional and create some sort of continuous engagement strategy for that relationship. It's the same.
Continuous
Engagement strategy. Now, what it is that even if it is every once a week you call him up and say, "Hey, dude, amazing job you did on that project there. I love the way," even though I don't give a damn about what Bush did, but I'm just trying to sustain that relationship. It's continuous. Then the next week, he might even feel like saying, "Dude, what's up? Did you catch my other thing?" "No, I haven't had a chance to see it. What was it about?" And now you see, you have created some sort of rapport.
Back and forth.
Yes, and it's a back and forth.
Yeah.
It's not just unilateral. So the first thing I think it's important for all these young people to understand is that relationships must be nurtured.
Yeah.
That process
You have to be intentional.
You have to be intentional.
Yeah, true.
And the word intentional is sometimes thrown around just for the sake. You must do it and mean it.
deliberate.
Deliberate.
Yeah.
And these are things that I think phones, mobile phones and WhatsApp have spoiled us. Back in the day, I had to pick up the phone and call you and actually speak to you and have that relationship. But these days, it's difficult.
Actually, I had a conversation with Alex Mukulu at some point, and he asked me, again, in the line of relationships and managing them and being together, I was like, "What do you think unites us as Ugandans?"
And what did you tell him?
It took me about 5 minutes. I told him the flag. He said, "What else?" I told him the cuisine. He was like, "No." Sadly, it's the anthem. Those 3 stanzas is when we all,
Yeah.
when that's when, "Oh, Uganda." Somehow that's when you feel either you're watching it on TV or it's on radio or whatever, but somehow there's a way it actually made sense.
Yeah,
You know,
does.
he's right in a way, but it's not limited only to the anthem. What unites people is a common bond, is a common cause. It is a common like. It is a common habit. It's a common sport.
Common pain?
It's a common pain.
Okay.
The key thing here is commonality.
Yeah.
So you see this thing here?
Yes.
This is Rotary. I'm a Rotarian. My Rotary Club is the Rotary Club of Kampala, Sese Island. But what keeps us together is being able to go into communities and to make a difference.
Yeah.
Impact. I have my guys from Namliango College. I went to Namliango College from 1990 to 1996. I've got my Ngo group. What keeps us together is the fact that we studied together for 6 years. That's my commonality. I've got a family group. We call it clan consumption. Every month, 60 to 80 of us get together and we rotate. This month we're at cousin Bush. Next month at cousin Josh. Next month it's at cousin Mitch's. And the reason why we do that is so that our kids stay together and have that bond, commonality. So if you can find something that you have in common, guess what? You're not going to struggle with creating that relationship and managing it because it will be there.
Yeah.
I have guys from Namyango who studied together 35 years ago. I won't speak to you for a year and a half. But the moment I picked it up, it's like we had never left. That's what it is to have a bond.
You touched something a while back, and I was just noting it down here. Coming from a lone ranger to somebody who collaborates, somebody who understands networks, you need to have a sharing mindset.
True.
You need to reduce on the grid.
Very true.
You know, because most creatives I know who are lone rangers are just about chasing the bag and eating it alone.
Yes.
Okay, so I think there's a bit of selfishness to address because you really need to understand the market and know that, okay, I'm a graphic designer.
I can't do more than Mitch can do this.
Mitch thinks I'm good, so he's my client. He faces me. But also, if I need to have Bush as my client too, I need another graphic designer who has to be under me. But now am I able to share that money? You understand? So it's a sentiment that I've seen with so many creatives.
Bush and Josh, I'll ask you a question.
Yeah.
Would you rather have 5% of something or 100% of nothing? And maybe that doesn't crystallize it for you. There's a deal here. 200 million. But you can't do it, but because you think you can do it. And I'm going to give you another example. Creative process. Huge TV show. There's a chap who's my gango. Tight body like this. The guy decides to go get a deal and he got a sponsor, one of the biggest banks in Uganda, and he pitches a TV show to them. And the guys bite. Budget came out around like 350, 400 pieces. And he came and told me about it. He said, no, dude, I know you've done 4 or 5 TV shows and I've done multiple. We did the Nile Special Pool Tournament. We did the Bank of Uganda Schools Challenge. We had done Tusker Project Fame. So my production team had experience. So this guy here went, pitched it. When he got the money, greed set in.
Yeah.
So
He
he
always
went,
does.
he did it. When he got the money, he kept quiet. And you know the first thing he did? He went and he ordered a car, Hilux, from Japan. with you know, because they released the money in batches. Huh?
Yeah.
With the first batch, he went and ordered for a Hilux.
Online.
Not
even from the bond.
Not even from the bond, from Hilux. Bop, bop, bop. Now, he didn't take time out to come up with a project plan, to define it, to be able to come up with an implementation plan, to come up with a control system, to be able to come up with... The guy was a mess. Do you know what happened? A month and a half later, I get a phone call. Not from him, from the client.
Yes.
The client calls me into his office and says, you know what, Mitch, I need you guys at Eclipse to save us. We are taking your friend to court because he has defrauded us. We have not seen any product. We have given him money.
Who is this guy?
Josh, what's your issue, man?
Chaos.
Hey, chaos.
yeah.
This is your chaotic partner. But you guys see this, huh?
Yeah, I understand.
And this is a live story. Yeah? So now what happens is that finally the guy comes to me and says, dude, I'm sorry. I screwed up. I should have come to you. I should have actually talked to you. What happens? We take the show. Since the client already dispatched a certain amount of money, we are now down to 250 million. Because the guy had gotten 100 ma already. So I told him, you know what? To save Josh's life, since Josh is my tight, let me do it for 250 and make it happen. We did the show. It was the highest rated show in Uganda that year. Saved that chap's life. But you know what could have happened? Josh could have come to me in the spirit of collaboration, in the spirit of wanting to succeed as a creative. He could have come and said, Mitch, you guys at Eclipse, help me out. I have a deal for 350. Can you guys allow me to eat like a 75? I've got you the deal. Can you do it for 200 and something? I would have said, you know, Josh, nah. And then we would have come to a compromise. But I would have done it.
Yeah.
Because Josh is my guy. So I think it's important to understand the value of long term.
Yeah.
Don't think of eating for today.
I'll tell you what. I've eaten my own babies a couple of times. A couple of times.
Ew.
Yep.
Ew.
And guys,
I thought that was bad. As a vet, they say we eat our
it's not
patients.
worth it. It's not worth it.
It's not, huh?
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. But I like your other submission where the guy actually comes back to you and says, look, Mitch,
I messed up.
yeah, I think that's now management. Okay? I effed up. I'm sorry. What do we do? How do we move forward?
Correct.
Yeah, I think
And I think it's important that as creatives-
self-sabotage.
Self-sabotage happens sometimes, and until you understand that you can't make it alone,
Yeah.
you're going to make mistakes.
You can't.
Yeah, but when you do make mistakes, have the decency and be able to have the humility to go to somebody and say, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
True.
And you'll be shocked at what those words can do. And you as somebody who has been wronged, man, dude, we all make mistakes. Yeah, just accept the guy.
But you also understand the guy's sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe the guy's had a pregnant wife and
Jama just wanted to eat. He wanted the 4x4.
The Hilux. But now, this takes me again to something else.
Yeah.
As we
But
wind
wait a
up.
second.
As we
You
wind
guys
up.
were told that this is a 15-minute thing. Are you guys going to be able to edit this thing?
are you
This
the
is
producer?
you.
I'm sorry. Forgive me.
Are you the producer?
Forgive me.
You cannot invite me here and tell me to speak for 5 minutes.
I'm sorry.
You know that guy?
Yes, I know that guy. Please,
You cannot
continue.
bring Mitch here.
Continue. You speak.
It's a service.
You know, you cannot bring a whole doctor here and tell him to
Yes,
speak for
yeah.
15 minutes. So you took it to another level when you said, you give us your story
Yeah.
of greed.
Yeah.
But I think we should be in agreement that when you're networking,
Yes.
it's two-way. Don't take my number, or I shouldn't take your number because I need something from you.
Right.
I might be shocked. You might be the first person to call me because you need something from me. And it is going to come at pro bono.
You know, Josh, you've hit
Yeah.
it on the head. Last week, I flew to Kenya, and I did a conference and an international media awards for an organization called IGAD. Now I can drop the name. Now, what had happened was that 2 or 3 years ago, I had done a conference for them here in Kampala. And once again, remember, the importance in building relationships comes first from demonstrating value. People will want to associate with you. People will want to network with you when they see value in you.
Yep.
But at the same time, you must make sure that when this is happening, take the numbers and see potential in individuals. After we had done the engagement, 5-star, client was ecstatic. They went away singing praises. These guys in Uganda, bocha, they're hot. And I got the numbers of all the guys, the communications person. I had 1 or 2 other people. And I'm generous with my cards because I know that when I do a good job, people are paying attention.
Yes.
But it doesn't have to be immediate. So he took my number because I had done something for him. he hadn't given me anything at all.
Yeah.
And I got his number, not wanting anything, but because we had created a certain rapport. He was happy, his boss was smiling, and we were good. Fast forward, 2.5, 3 years later, calls me up and says, dude, I have a huge conference. I've never done something at this level before. You helped me shine in in Uganda 2 years ago. Can you fly in and help me with this one here? Not just to host, but also to do the full, what they call professional congress organizing. Get the guys in, plan the structure, do the sound, stage, lighting. Just help me with that, because I'm drowning with this. I said, cool. Went in, 3 days, pulled off the event. Guess what? We already booked for Addis Ababa 2025.
Wow.
That's good.
Nice.
Networks,
Nice.
relationships.
Nice. Yeah.
Doesn't happen today.
Yes.
Might happen tomorrow.
One more question. How do you deal with, again, in terms of management, how do you deal with relationships that are based on entitlement? Because Mich is my go-to guy each time I have a problem. There are those serial guys. Each time I have a flat tire, Mich, Jama,
No, dude.
you get it?
Let me
my yaka is out.
Let me cut you there. Let me cut you there. Do you know what I'm going to do?
Yes. These are some
More
challenges
than not,
of networking.
Josh and Bush, I've been giving you politically correct answers.
Yes.
But now I'm going to speak my heart.
Because it's what we wanted. It's what we wanted, dude.
The truth, this is creative chaos.
Yes, it's what we wanted.
Truth be told,
it could be family, it could be your Namiliango guy.
We all have limitations.
True.
Once somebody crosses that line, you know what you do? You don't show him the finger. No, you show him the hand and say, pick a finger. You know which finger you want them to pick? No. But what you want them to do... You're funny. You're funny, dude. No. But what you do is that you tell this person, whether it's a guy or whether it's a chick, that, dude, I honestly appreciate you as an individual, but I believe that you're becoming overburdening. So what I'd like to do is that I'd like to assist you. Because you're having a consistent challenge. What's your challenge? Is it money? Is it what? So how can we sustainably solve your problem? Nigga.
Keyword sustainably.
Sustainably.
Yes.
Dude, Jama, my niggarachi. Get a job. Do something. Or can I get you opportunities to work with me so that what the person sees is that, oh, I've actually hit a nerve.
Yeah.
So because now you don't want to alienate the person, but at the same time, I don't want Josh to keep coming back and keep tapping me for Kateniki. Because once, twice, thrice.
It could be a young bro, your elder bro, your nephew now.
Even better.
It's called a
school fees.
lose 50.
I can lose
Second
50K.
term, I can lose 50K.
Or help me with this. Yes, it's okay. Sustainably come up with a solution for them. So that's the thing. Help them out. Because if it's within your within your sphere of influence, go ahead.
And
do it.
And if it's the missus, where do you draw the line?
Nah. This thing here is going
For
online.
better, for worse.
For better or for worse.
Through thickness and
So
slimness.
please, you keep your chaos in your own home.
So, Doctor, as we wind up, we're both graying. Josh is slightly younger than us, but it's amazing.
I'm sure Josh has no hair under that hat there. So let's say he's bald already.
But it's amazing. It's amazing. I meet people and they're like, hey, you look so good. You look okay.
Yeah.
But beyond that, staying power. What's your secret? I tell guys, mine is hang around young chaps like the ones you see in this room and things like that. You unlearn and learn, and you stay fresh. What is your secret to your staying power? given the fickle industry we're in.
Jamal's just said that I've overstayed in power. Can you imagine?
Do
Do you remember the guy we were talking about, Josh? We are staying too much in power. You, Josh, what's wrong with this guy?
He's in West Africa. The guy we're talking about is in West Africa.
No,
We don't have any of those in East Africa, so...
no. The honest truth.
No, we have peers who've really
You know
good,
how they say
but
that
they've fallen off the wagon. and-
Osibamu answer. You're chilling in the answer. You said it. Learning and unlearning. The challenge with people who become obsolete in a sector is because they don't understand that the world changes. Trends change.
It's a constant.
It's a constant. That's the only thing which is given. Change. So if you can evolve, by the time I started doing events, we didn't have digital. We didn't have social media. We didn't have Facebook. We didn't have Twitter and TikTok and the rest. No, it wasn't all there. But we also didn't have screens and graphics and all this razzmatazz that Josh does. But if with every single opportunity you can go to school, let me shock you now. You guys know I'm in class right now. I've been doing a 2.5-month course on enhancing my abilities as a creative in meetings, incentives, conferencing, and events. We're doing it in South Africa. It's a South Africa thing. I'm going down to do a couple of events there. Quickly after that, next month, I'm starting another course in the UK on the same thing. What does it do? It empowers me. Sure. And everybody is so scared. You know, they say that if you want to hide money, hide it in books because black people don't read.
Yep.
That's a lie. We need to now empower ourselves, get knowledge. Because the more knowledge you get, the more empowered you are. And it's not just old knowledge. Stay abreast. What is new? What is fresh? How can I be better?
Yeah.
How can I be better than these young guns on? Because you put me on a mic, ain't nobody gonna handle Dr. Michelangelo. You know what I'm saying, man? because I come with the thunder.
Yeah.
So if you have that attitude and if you're confident and you're willing to put in the work, yes, you're good. But if you sit down and think that the things that got you here, that they will get you there,
Nope.
you're lying. So pay attention to that.
Yes.
The things that got you here will not get you there.
Lastly.
Uh-huh.
We are in the edge.
How many lastlies does he have?
Wait. We're in the edge of digital data, and this is specifically about data. Decisions are being made based on data. They say data is the new one, the new gold. And
Yes.
It's a currency.
Yes.
Currency, yes.
Information is power.
How do you apply that in your day-to-day life, and how does that influence your decision making?
Briefly.
Just briefly, then.
I tell you what, every single day that I have an engagement, every single day that I have an event which we're preparing for, we do not make any decisions without data, without information. Just yesterday, we're doing a huge conference for one of the huge banks in Uganda next year. They wanted to take 30 people around the country to go and blast and to engage themselves. Am I going to use just my feelings, my whims? No. I need to find out statistically what's the best place to go, what's the fastest way to get there, what's the best hotel, how much do they charge, what's the fastest route to get from here. You know, all this information helps you at the end of the day. Any event that you're doing, you go smarter when you know about the organization. So that when you're spitting, you're spitting, you're spitting content.
Sure.
You're not an idiot with a microphone.
Yeah.
So it's important.
Nice.
Info is power, bro.
Yeah.
The last time I heard you speak on radio, I was in a barber shop. I had flown in, I think, for Utake. Brother Peter Wacha had brought me in.
My last time on radio was 2006.
Yeah.
I stopped working on radio on the 13th of November. 2006.
Yeah, this was, I think, 2003 or 4.
Okay.
And you were, I think it was at the Sanyo Jam. Yeah.
Yes.
The evening drive, and you were signing out, and I remember I think you played a clear cut, I remember.
No.
You played clear cut.
No.
Yes.
Never.
Yes.
Can I tell you what?
Yes.
Now, Josh, do you know the reason why I know he's lying?
Wait.
No. Do you know what? Let me tell you why.
Okay.
I have a sign-off song for Tenywa FM, and even for KFM, when I left, I played the same song both times.
So it probably wasn't the sign-off song, but you played
I played
Clear
it,
Cut.
okay,
I remember.
but my sign-off song
Which was?
is by John Forte and Praz. It's called Move On. You know that? It's sampled off of if You Were Here Tonight by Alexander O'Neill. You listen to that song. That is my jam. I even used it as my sound bed on Sanya at a certain point. So that was my song. But what is your lie? Tell me your lie.
I want you to do the honors and give us that classic Mich sign-off. Look into the camera.
All right, hey, this is Dr. Mich, Don't Snitch. I've been chilling here with my homeboy Josh and with Bush. This is Creative Chaos. We've been having conversations about relationships, about networking and collaboration, man. Keep it here, keep it smooth, keep it like Dr. Michelangelo.
Cues John Forte.
Drops the mic.